Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone, and the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England is set to get underway in 3 days. 21 athletes will compete under the flag of St. Vincent and the Grenadines in athletics, aquatics, cycling, squash and table tennis. The country is expecting some good performances despite the fact that several athletes had their preparation disrupted by the eruption of the La Soufrière volcano. So George and Lance, this is a project we're very, very excited about. I'll miss both of you off the zone, but y'all will be doing great work.
Yeah, well, SVG are having high hopes for the Commonwealth Games. It's not an event that they have traditionally done well at, and their problems, worsen now because of their build-up period and the volcano and so on. Of course, COVID-19 affected everyone as well. So I'm anxious to see what they'll be able to do. Yeah, George, of course, the financial impact as well of these things.
Yeah, well, the fact of the matter is that these games restricted to countries who are still flying the Commonwealth standard or maintain strong association to it. Anything is possible in terms of glory at these games. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, apart from, well, at CAC level, or know that Cannock has some new as a new event on the calendar. This may be the games, the kind of event they look forward to and target a medal in an event such as this. But the disruption caused by the volcano, people will say, well, that was such a long time ago. No, in the preparation of an athlete, that is a serious disruptor, and it remains to be seen if they can find their best stride, spreading that phrase across all the events that we just listed that they're doing, if they can be at their best for the games in a week from now.
Yeah, we don't have too long to wait because, of course, all the action will be on SportsMax. Still with the Commonwealth Games, though, the best lawn bowlers will compete in paralawn bowling at this year's Games. So what is paralawn bowling? Check out this explainer.
My name's Gary Hood and I represent Scotland in the para bowls B7 pairs with Kevin Wallace. Started bowling when I was about 15 years old. I had lost my eye in a schoolroom accident. It wasn't very nice, but I just got on with things, and I was advised to take up some sport or hobby that involved judging distance. I went to the bowling. It gave me a lot of confidence. I found out I was quite good at it, so I just carried on from there. Back in 2015 I was diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome, and after a couple of months in hospital they found I also had Lyme disease, which they reckon probably triggered the Guillain-Barré syndrome. I was paralysed. I never knew if I was ever going to get back on my feet again or use my hands again. One of the nurses was feeding me my dinner one night, choked and stopped breathing, and the next thing I knew I was in intensive care in the life support machine. Fortunately got through it. I was very close to being put into an induced coma. Slowly started to get movement in my fingers and my toes, and then just as it came, it disappeared up until they said within 2 years you're either going to be back to normal or close to back to normal, or you're stuck with it. It's very difficult. I had a lot of good friends around me, my family helping me, but there's only so much you can do, and you really have to do things for yourself. When I got out of the hospital in 2016 and started looking at ways to get back on my feet and walking around the complex with 2-step, it was probably somewhere in the back of my mind that I had already come through quite a traumatic experience when I lost my eye in that schoolroom accident. And probably, unknown to me, it helped drive me on when I got this Guillain-Barré syndrome and Lyme disease. I think when you go through something like that in life, it does strengthen you up, and it helps you for the future and for everything else that may happen. Fortunately, I had the bowling to fall back on. Yeah, this is me having a practice down at my bowling club here, Craigie. Be down here most mornings having at least an hour for myself, just to keep my arm in. Unless I'm playing a competition in the evening, then I'm getting a bit of competitive play as well. Yeah, in 1994 I was fortunate to be selected for the Commonwealth Games in Victoria. A phenomenal experience. People ask you, what do you remember about the Commonwealth Games? I remember the opening ceremony, especially in Canada, because there's a lot of Scots Canadians. When you walk into that stadium with 30,000 people, the amount of salt tires that were flying about, it was just incredible. Well, to be going to the Commonwealth Games 28 years after, there was a few tears shed, if I'm being honest. I just couldn't believe it. And as soon as I've walked into the stadium, round the track, which will be in my wheelchair because I couldn't walk round the track, so once I sit down, get the opening ceremony over, I'll be going straight to my bed, and all I'll be thinking about then is competing at 8:15 the next morning. I'm driven by the fact that I can actually get up out of my bed now and go and do things every day. One of my physios suggested canoeing and kayaking because it's something I can do without using my legs. It helps my upper body strength, and also the main one is my respiratory system. After being in life support, it's a bit screwed up, so I get tired easily, but I can sit in a canoe and kayak and just paddle away at my leisure. This is my freedom, I call it. This gets me out of the house. The hand control, it's quite good when you get used to it. You just pull to go, push to stop. Well, the experience I've gone through with this illness and losing my eye as a youngster, and I would like sometime in the very, very near future to help other people aim for the same. Maybe they won't achieve it, but at least they have something to aim for. I'm a great believer in if you enter something, you're entering it to win. So I'm going there hoping to win the gold medal. I'm not confident of winning it, but I'm quietly confident that Kevin and myself are a very, very strong pair. And if we play the way we can play, I don't see any reason why we won't win the gold medal. But a medal of any colour is nice to have. My advice to anybody that goes through a traumatic or a serious illness, appreciating that different illnesses have different effects on people, would be never give up, never give in. That's my motto.